I remember yesterday I messaged someone and then I waited 10 seconds before I called, and I literally was running my nails down the desk while I was being unproductive for 10 seconds waiting to call.
G'day team, Adam Kogan here from SSW TV, and I'm here with Yuli McLaren. How are you, Yuli?
G'day, very good.
Excellent. So we're going to talk about how to use Teams, how to interrupt people, all that type of stuff. You love being interrupted?
All the time, yeah, I love it. It's great. And I'm always interrupting other people too, so it's good to do it the right way.
Right, okay. So the right way, the first right way, I always tell people is don't say ping or hey, and then I'm watching you type away. And there's some message coming, it's frustrating. Just ask your question right away.
Yeah, so we use Teams a lot, and whether we're messaging or calling people, we are always trying to get hold of other people, and people are always trying to get hold of us.
Yes.
So we're trying to figure out the best way to do that.
Right. And does this topic frustrate you at all?
Yes.
How?
So, well, we have two different philosophies on this.
Yes.
So we both agree on the first part, which is that when you're messaging someone, don't just say, hey, and then start typing your message while they sit there watching you type. Yeah, get all the context out in one go. So as soon as the person's interrupted, they get the full message.
Yeah.
With a link to a PVI or a subject of an email or something like that, so they can look up more details. And we agree on that part.
Yes. The second thing is I don't think you should call someone out of the blue so you don't catch them startled.
So my problem with this is, all these rules we have are all about efficiency. They're all about how do we get the most done. And the idea that I make a lot of small calls. I'm calling up people quickly. Hey, are you free to be booked in on so-and-so? Hey, do you know this? Hey, who's the best person to talk to about that? Very, very quick call.
How long are your calls on average?
5 minutes, probably.
Yeah. So mine are usually way more than that.
Yeah.
Most of my calls are at least half an hour.
Yeah. So to get hold of you, how do people do it?
Well, I would tell them, if it's urgent, I want them to call me. But I want to decide if it's urgent. And I don't need them specifically to ask permission. They can say, the website is down, I'm calling in 1 minute.
So the idea of me waiting 5 minutes for each of my 5-minute calls is terrifying because that will slow me down a lot.
Oh, so you're saying just call them without any...
If I need someone to answer a really quick question and they're not showing up as on a call, I would call them straight away.
Right. Now, from the other point of view, it's important to you, but that doesn't mean it's more important to me. I might be on a Facebook Messenger call, which means you're not seeing it. I might be on a normal call. I might be in person with someone.
That's true.
You've got to use that judiciously.
So my answer to that would be, if I tried to call you and you hung up, I would message that.
Right.
At that point, I'd be like, hey, Adam, I'm trying to get hold of you about blah.
Right. Okay.
Now, the reason I wouldn't use this, a big reason I wouldn't use this, even if I did decide to use it in general,
what?
This whole messaging people and then waiting before I call them, is if I'm in a call with 3-4 people already, I don't want to waste everyone's time while we all wait to call you.
Okay. Yeah. A group call is a little different. If we've got 3 or 4 important people on a call and we need an answer from somebody else, we would add them in. But I still think you should message them, teaching everybody else on the call, I'm calling you in 30 seconds.
So at that point, I feel like this becomes inefficient. So if you're green, I would say, call you. I get a lot of people messaging me and saying, I need to talk to you about blah, which allows me to prioritize who I call back in what order. I like that too. That works really well, especially if I'm already on a call. It's rare people call me when I'm already on a call because I guess they know that I'm generally on fairly quick calls.
Right. Okay. So the next thing to discuss is what do you do when you call somebody and they press no?
Is this after you've already messaged them, given them a few minutes, then call them?
Yes, that's right.
No.
Did it all. I'm sure it's
rage point, close the laptop.
Yeah. So I would say the thing not to do is do nothing. Don't type nothing. I got to know. I'm not going to do it.
Well, I tried.
Yes. I think it's really important to jump in and say something. I'll call you in half an hour.
Yeah, I'll try again in an hour.
Yeah.
Like that.
Or I have somebody that's just turned up to the office. Do you want me to tell them to wait or go? Because they know I'm in a call in my office or whatever. I would say the best way of phrasing that is to put it in 2 messages. So I have someone at the office. Do you want me to tell them to wait? New message. Do you want me to tell them to come back another time? And I guess to be clear, if somebody doesn't understand what to do with there, you can put it in brackets, like which one you want, and then you just have to like which one. while you're talking to somebody else.
If I'm dealing with you and I know you're time poor, or you're doing an employee review with someone where you can't take a lot of time, you can quickly like a message to give your attention. That works quite well. So today we've talked about things.
So great discussion. Thanks, Yuli. Now remember, these points are really important. Number one, don't say hello. Get into the meat of what you want to ask straight away. Secondly, if you want to call, make it a warm call. Put some context down there, a URL, whatever. And third, if you get the dreaded decline on your call, don't do nothing. Make sure that you tell them what you're doing next. I'm calling in an hour. I'm doing something else. I need an answer on this. That will really help you get your questions answered, and it really helps the other person prioritize your call. So if you have any comments, throw it down there in the comments. Always keen to learn. This is Adam Kogan signing off for SSW TV.